Chapter 26. Youth. Youth is divided into two periods, each of 7 years. The first period begins at 21 years of age and concludes at 28 years of age. The second period is initiated at 28 years of age and ends at 35 years of age. The foundations of youth are found in the home, at school, and in the street. Youth brought up on the basis of fundamental education is in fact edifying and essentially dignifying. Youth brought up on false foundations is, as a logical consequence, a mistaken path. The majority of men use the first part of their life to make the rest of it miserable. Young men, because of a mistaken concept of false manhood, often fall into the arms of prostitutes. The excesses of youth are promissory notes drowned against old age, payable with very high interests in 30 years. Without fundamental education, youth becomes a perpetual intoxication. It is the fever of error, of liquor, and of animal passion. Everything that a man will do in his life is found in a potential state during the first 30 years of existence. Of all the great human actions which we have knowledge of, both in bygone times as well as today, the greater number of them have been initiated before 30 years of age. The man who has reached 30 years of age sometimes feels as if he came out of a great battle in which he has seen a multitude of his companions fall one after the other. At 30 years of age, men and women have already lost all their vivacity and enthusiasm, and if they fail in their first projects, they become filled with pessimism and abandon the match. The illusion of maturity follows the illusions of youth. Without fundamental education, the inheritance of old age is often desperation. Youth is fleeting. Beauty is the splendor of youth, but it is illusory. It does not last. Youth have vivacious temperament, and its judgment is weak. Rare are young people with a strong judgment and vivacious temperament. Without fundamental education, young people become passionate people, drunkards, rascals, sarcastic, concupiscent, lustful, gluttons, covetous, envious, jealous, bullies, thieves, proud, lazy, etc. Youth is a summer sun that is soon concealed. Young people delight in squandering the vital values of youth. Old people commit the error of exploiting young people and leading them into war. Young people can transform themselves and transform the world if they oriented themselves along the path of fundamental education. In youth, we are full of illusions that only lead us to disenchantment. The ego takes advantage of the fire of youth to strengthen itself and make itself powerful. The ego wants passionate satisfactions at whatever price, even when old age be totally disastrous. Young people are only interested in surrendering to the arms of fornication, wine, and all types of pleasure. They do not want to realize that to be slaves of pleasure is typical of stupid people, but not typical of real men. No pleasure lasts long enough. The thirst for pleasure is the pain that makes the intellectual animal most despicable. The great poet of Spanish tongue, Jorge Manrique, said, "How swift displeasure fade, when afterwards remembered causes pain. For, in our opinion, any bygone time was better." Aristotle, speaking about pleasure, said, "When it has to do with judging pleasure, we men are not impartial judges. The intellectual animal enjoys justifying pleasure. Frederick the Great had no inconvenience to emphatically affirm, pleasure is the most real good of this life. The most unbearable pain is that produced by the prolongation of the most intense pleasure. Young madcaps abound like weeds. The madcap ego always justifies pleasure. The chronic madcap abhors marriage or prefers to postpone it. It is a serious thing to postpone marriage with the pretext of enjoying all the pleasures of earth. It is absurd to finish with the vitality of youth and then get married. The victims of such stupidity are the children. Many men get married because they are tired. Many women get married out of curiosity, and the result of such absurdities is always deception. Every wise man truly loves with all his heart the woman he has chosen. We should always get married in our youth if we really do not want to have a miserable old age. There is a time for everything in life. It is normal for a young person to get married, but for an old person to get married is stupidity. Young people should get married and know how to form their home. We should never forget that the monster of jealousy destroys homes. Solomon said, "Jealousy is cruel like a tomb. Its coals are coals of fire." The race of intellectual animals is jealous like dogs. Jealousy is totally animal-like. The man that is jealous of his wife does not know who he is dealing with. It is better not to be jealous of her so that we know what type of wife we have. The poisonous screaming of a jealous woman becomes more fatal than the fangs of a rabid dog. It is false to say that where there is jealousy, there is love. Jealousy is never born from love. Love and jealousy are incompatible. The origin of jealousy is found in fear. The ego justifies jealousy with reasons of many types. The ego fears losing the loved one. Whoever wants to truly dissolve the ego should always be willing to lose whenever is loved most. In practice, we have been able to prove for ourselves after many years of observation that every libertine bachelor becomes a jealous husband. Every man has been terribly fornicating. Man and woman should be united voluntarily out of love and not out of fear and jealousy. Before the great law, a man should answer for his behavior and a woman for hers. A husband cannot answer for the behavior of his wife, nor can the wife answer for the behavior of her husband. Let each person answer for her own behavior, and let jealousy be dissolved. The basic problem of youth is marriage. The coquettish girl with several boyfriends remains single because all the boys become disillusioned with her. It is necessary that young girls know how to keep their boyfriend if they truly want to get married. It is necessary not to confuse love with passion. Young men and women do not know how to distinguish between love and passion. It is urgent to know that passion is a poison that fools the mind and heart. Every impassioned man and every impassioned woman could even swear with tears of blood that they are truly in love. After the animal-like passion has been satisfied, the castle of dreams crumbles to the ground. The failure of so many marriages is due to their getting married out of animal-like passion and not out of love. The most serious step that we take during youth is marriage, and as schools, colleges, and universities, young men and women should be prepared for this important step. It is unfortunate that many young men and women get married out of a financial interest or more social conveniences. When marriage is carried out due to animal-like passion, social conveniences, or financial interest, the result is failure. Many are the couples that fail in marriage because of incompatibility of characters. The woman that marries a jealous, angry, furious young man will become the victim of an executioner. The young man who marries a jealous, furious, angry woman clearly lives his life in a hell. For there to be true love between two beings, it is urgent for animal-like passion not to exist. It is indispensable to dissolve the ego. It is necessary to disintegrate anger. Absolute unselfishness is vital. The ego harms homes. The myself destroys harmony. If young men and women study our fundamental education and propose to dissolve the ego, it is clear from all angles that they will be able to find the path of perfect marriage. Only by dissolving the ego can there be true happiness in homes. We prescribe to young men and women who want to be happy in marriage to study in depth our fundamental education and to dissolve the ego. Many parents are frightfully jealous of their daughters and do not want them to have a boyfriend. Such action is absurd 100% because girls need to have a boyfriend and get married. The result of such lack of understanding is secret boyfriends and the ever-present danger of falling into the arms of a seductive suitor. Girls should always have the freedom to have a boyfriend. However, due to their not having dissolved the ego, it is convenient not to leave them alone with the boyfriend. Young men and women should have the freedom to have parties at home. Healthy pastimes do not harm anyone, and youth needs to have pastimes. What harms youth is alcohol, cigarettes, fornication, orgies, licentiousness, bars, cabarets, etc. Family parties, decent dances, good music, trips to the countryside, etc. cannot harm anyone. The mind damages love. Many young men have lost the opportunity of getting married to magnificent women due to financial fears, to memories of yesterday, and worries about tomorrow. Fear of life, hunger and misery, and vain projects of the mind become a fundamental cause for every nuptial postponement. Many are the young men who decide not to get married until they possess a specific amount of money, their own house, the latest car, and hundreds of gadgets, more as if all that was happiness. Unfortunately, that type of men lose beautiful marriage opportunities because of fear of life, of death, of what others will say, etc. Such types of men remain single all their life, or they get married too late when they do not have enough time to form their family and educate their children. Really, everything that a man needs to support his wife and children is to have a profession or a humble trade. That is all. Many young women remain single because of choosing a husband. Calculating, egotistical, mercenary women remain single or fail completely in marriage. It is necessary that girls understand that every man becomes disillusioned with a mercenary, calculating, egotistical woman. Some young women, desirous of getting a husband, make themselves up in an exaggerated way. They pluck their eyebrows, curl their hair, put on wings and false eyelashes. These women do not understand male psychology. Man, by nature, abhors makeup dolls and admires totally natural beauty and the ingenuous smile. A man wants to see in a woman sincerity, simplicity, true disinterested love, and the ingenuity of nature. Girls who want to get married need to understand in depth the psychology of the male sex. Love is the summum of wisdom. Love nourishes itself with love. The eternal youth is love.